The following dysfunctional gaming program was filmed in front of a live Twitch audience and Randy.
Hello, we are live. They actually didn't hear you say 4 on that one because your microphone gets unmuted last on my on my
good old kill switches.
So it went me, then the desktop, then you being unmuted. So you said 4 after I said, yeah, it worked out. You're gonna have to wait a couple more seconds. How's it going, guys? Gilded. I don't know what to tell you because I'm kind of like I do the same thing you do. It's like I'll be fine, but do what you need to do about that. Berserker, good to see you. Throg, thanks for stopping in and giving us good luck. Appreciate you, bud. Today on Dysfunctional Gaming's Talking D&D, we'll be talking about backgrounds.
Whoa! I'm sorry. This redo it. Do it again. Clap. Where's the thing? You didn't. Hi. I don't know who you are. Who am I? Well, I'm so confused. I'm feeble-minded.
Give me a second. I'll start over. All right, clap. Hey, what's happening? I'm Thundercat. This is GM Patch Nasty. Welcome to Dysfunctional Gaming Talking D&D, episode 26. We're going to be talking about backgrounds.
I like how we both said clap and clapped. We are well, Fuzzrab.
Oh man, how's it going?
Good old Fuzzy.
How's it going today?
Fuzzrab.
Remember what?
Or me?
Remember what? You.
Oh, when you clap, you have to say clap.
Oh yes.
You have to like clap.
Did you talk to Patch about the notifications?
What did I do now? Do you need a notification? I could send you some invites. I don't know what you need them for, but I'd love to send them to you.
He wanted you, Buzzrab wanted you to go into the channel points and turn them back on so people can...
That's a DD thing. That's above my pay grade. I'm the pretty. I'm not the brains.
What's a DD? Yeah, DD is the only other person that can turn them on right now. Well, yeah. Patch has the ability, but he's just too lazy to go do it.
How do I do it? I don't know how to do it.
You'd have to log into the Dysfunctional Gaming on...
Yeah, that's way too much work.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to do this. See, look.
Yeah, Randy Raid. All right, so this week we're going to talk about backgrounds, but last week we finished off our planes, astral trains, and abyssal automobiles.
Not to be confused with infernal war machines.
Yeah, second part, where we talked about the inner and outer planes.
The terrible stuff. All the bad places you don't want to go.
Well, also Mount Celestia and all those other places, too.
Yeah, you still don't want to go there. Because some places that are really cool that you'll be stuck there because you don't want to leave.
You could get there and then have, like, a god give you, like, a boon or something. You never know. Might be a reason to go.
Yeah.
You were raised in the astral planes? I was raised in the nether realm.
I was raised in limbo.
Makes a lot of sense. I was raised in Massachusetts. I'm just kidding. I wasn't in that. Well, I guess that could be considered the nether realm. Yeah, that could be considered the nether realm.
Not to be confused with Jamaica plains.
The Jamaica plains is also in Massachusetts.
It sure is.
Played baseball in Jamaica Plain.
I locked doors in Jamaica Plains. What are we talking about this week? Backgrounds? What are those?
Backgrounds. Not backstories. Backgrounds go along with your class and your backstory. If you're looking for a backstory that you were in the clergy or something, you'd probably pick a specific background in the PHP. I'm thinking either Acolyte or I think, is there a priest one? Or is that just Acolyte?
Acolyte and Sky.
I think there's a priest one in the Xanathars or something.
There's also Sage.
Yeah, Sage.
Yep.
So like there's two options there if you're looking to be part of a clergy.
Mhm.
If you want to be of a noble background in your backstory, then you'd probably pick noble or a merchant maybe that became noble. Like there's different things that or maybe you want to come from a noble backstory, but you want to rebel and you ran away and now you're living on your own. Be a hermit or a Outlander or something. So there's a few other ways to go about it, but we're trying to I just want to make sure that people know that there's backstory that you make around your character. You create that all, and then for character creation, you use a background that gives you specific features and proficiencies as well. So
I would like to.
Go
I was
ahead.
going to say the easiest way to differentiate the two: backstory and background. Background is actual mechanics. Like there are things that it will give you. Backstory, however, has no mechanics. This is way for you to write in a way to get magical items from your DM. And on the other hand, give him NPCs and load the metaphorical chambers in his DM gun that he's going to fire at you a couple times. Oh, you have parents? Click. Oh, you knew this dude? Click.
Yep.
This dude was a bad guy. Click, 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 click. Nope. I need a new chamber.
Whenever your DM asks you, hey, why don't you make a couple of names for like some shopkeeps and stuff in the city that you were raised in? Just be ready for those people to either know something bad about you or want to kill you or have some sort of backstory that you created because of it. So, thank you, Berserker.
But alert. Yeet.
So,
I read it, but I
there,
didn't want to get sidetracked.
yeah. From there, let's, I guess, get into it and get right into the. Yeah, I let my I let my players create their own towns, basically.
Yes and no, because I've kind of created the town, but I don't know any of the NPCs there because I shouldn't. In Patch in two knowledge, but Patch wants to make some silly NPCs, but we haven't even got to that yet. So, but I know he's gonna ask me.
Yeah, because we're in one of the other characters' hometowns where they're learning a bunch of stuff about stuff. So, yeah, it's as a DM, I let a lot of my players have a lot of like freedom to create their backstory where I can use it later in the game. I mean, I remember Puma. His backstory was crazy, and I used it the whole second half of the game was most of his backstory.
Yep. We gave us a base of operations.
Yeah, so it kind of worked out there. So, I mean, as a player, your backstory can really interpret where your game's going to go, and you might not even know that.
But let's move away from backstories to backgrounds.
Yes.
So I'll start off this. Every background is going to have very, very similar things. The first things that I really want to get into that aren't really bound by rules and concepts, this can be more abstract. It's the customization. There are going to be 4 charts that you can either roll on, pick from, or create your own. I suggest the latter of the 3, all like 2, 8, or 3, to create your own or roll from the table. But your personality traits, your ideals, your flaws, and your bonds. Personality traits, you could say that you're smart. You could say that I'm cocky. I'm one of the best fighters at the Gladiator pits in Baldur's Gate. Gives you immediate ties to Baldur's Gate and gives you a kind of a backstory on why you're cocky and explains a little bit of your character. Another one, one of my favorite personality traits. I use very syllabic words when I speak to people I think are of a lesser intelligence than me. Is probably one of my favorite character traits that you can get from those. But you can just pick your own. Same with the ideals. Ideals like to keep you in like your or kind of tie into your alignment. If you want to explain a little bit more, Thundercat, on ideals, I mean, we don't really typically use those a lot more in games, but it's kind of like a subtlety.
Yeah, I I I like alignment in my games because I can see how the character, like how you expect your character to hold themselves. And but you also have to know your players, like how they think of alignment too. So like if someone thinks that neutral is different than the way I think neutral is, we're gonna have issues. But if I know what my players think their neutral character is like, if he changes that neutrality into doing something that's above his neutral status, then I'm gonna notice that it's different. Like so, like your ideals kind of can keep that in mind. I mean, looking at one here for the Acolyte, like charity would be a good one. I always try to help those in need, no matter what the personal cost. Like that's just a good person in general. It doesn't matter. It necessarily have to tie to your I don't know.
I was going to say a phrase they use in the little blurb here is, what is a principle that you will never portray? What would prompt you to make sacrifices? Are two ways to explain an ideal. So they encompass everything from your life goals to your core belief system. So I'll just switch over to the sailor. We'll go to an ideal for evil. I'm a predator, and the other ships on the sea are my prey. Yar, har, har, I know what type of sailor I be. Har, har. But that's a way to think of things. Like instead of like, I don't give to charity. You got to earn it. Everyone works for their share. I don't give out handouts. That
Right.
that goes from a good idea to a bad idea.
Right. So yeah, I mean, that's ideals in a nutshell, basically. Like, what do you expect your character to be like in?
Explain how you're good, explain how you're evil, or explain how you sit on the fence, or how you are crazy. That's the easiest way
if I see if I see something going down, are you going to step in to stop it, or are you going to sit back and let it happen? Like that could be one of your ideals. Like, yeah, I would totally step in and make sure that both parties were safe. Like, or no, I'd sit back and let them kill each other. Like, there's two different people there, right there, automatically.
Loot the dead. That's what I would do. I would wait until they're dead, and then I would loot them. The next one, it goes into his bonds. These are connections. I always have a problem with alignment on RPG games. I can't help go past lawful good. Never played an evil character, just not something I'm comfortable with. All right, so we'll go into a quick. To play an evil character, play Knights of the Old Republic on Steam or the old Xbox. If it is very hard to play that game and not want to have cool lightning powers and be a Sith. Because you go to a Sith planet and it's real hard to make the good choices each time, because then you have to take out Siths. But when I play D&D, I think I've only really been 2 evil characters ever. Like, I've ridden the fence, like chaotic neutral, I'm not going to say is evil, but evil's not really fun to play with cooperative.
The only time I played an evil character was that one shot where I killed everybody and won.
Yep, you won as your daughter. Yep, that was the twist. So dumb.
It was dumb. It was awesome.
Dimension door. But bonds will tie you to like who will you work with, what will motivate you, who saved you. Like it gives you a connection to the game. It can also give you a way to interact with your DM. Like this NPC, insert name here, saved me on the battlefield. That gives your DM, oh, here's a quest giver. You need something to do? Go talk to this dude. You know he's gonna have something to do, and you owe him a life debt because he saved your fucking life.
Or you're gonna go see your buddy, and your buddy's gonna be missing. Oh, there's another encounter / campaign. Like, go find your friend. Like,
oh yeah, if you introduce the quest line that your buddy is missing, this NPC is gone, you immediately, nope, I don't care what we're doing. He needs to be found. Fuck that.
Yep.
Lastly, and not leastly, probably the best thing on your whole character sheet that makes you you and makes us us is your flaw. Flaws are probably the best thing about D&D. What brings you to rage? What vices do you have? Do you have an obnoxious little tick when you talk? Do you have like this? I'm very well versed in communication. However, when I talk with a very, very big lisp. That's a flaw.
Right.
Or you're inclined to carnal pleasures of the flesh. You like to court denizens of the night.
You go to the brothel when you can.
There you go. You like to go to a little house in Texas.
A little house in Texas.
My fave game, playing evil, would get me leveled up quicker, but I'm just a sweetheart at heart. See, that's the thing. Like, when I know it's going to give me XP, I'm like, I stab those guards. Bleh.
As a gamer, it's hard for me to be a bad person as well. And in D&D, I don't want to be evil because you're supposed to be the heroes. If you're an evil character, then you have to be lawful at least, so that you don't go and kill your party for your own means. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Lawful evil is probably the only way I would let anyone play in a campaign that I'm DMing. As D&D characters, you're supposed to be the heroes unless you're in an evil campaign where the DM tells you you're evil characters against the heroes. Here we go. Like, that is
you winning the campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say two things. I will agree that yes, if you're going to be cohesive, a lawful evil character is probably the only way to do it in a cohesive unit. However, I will say, given the repertoire of people I have played with and role played with, knowing I would have to say some. Go ahead and ask, Berserker. I would have to lay down some ground rules and be like, are you going to be neutral evil or are you going to be chaotic evil? Because if you're going to be chaotic evil, I will have to lay a lot more ground rules. Neutral evil, it kind of starts to get into that gray area.
Well, that's what neutral's all about.
It is. And then you get to let's say the neutral evil cleric has one spell slot left. Most of the party is down and is the furthest away from battle. It can either leave and let live or save somebody. That's when I would allow that. I would allow that neutral evil character to dip and then piss off the group of players because they never knew that they were a neutral evil character.
All right, so first off, let's answer Fuzzrab's question about what lawful evil confuses him. How can you be lawful and evil at the same time?
You make the laws.
Well, you're lawful, as in the laws. You'll follow the laws of where you're at, but once you're outside of those areas, the laws aren't applied to you anymore. So there's where you're at for your own means as well. Though evil people aren't necessarily always like murderers. I mean, they could be.
I think King John from Robin Hood, not a murderer, but a dickhead.
Yep, super evil.
An evil
on
this
dude.
Side and this side. Yeah.
Mole on both sides. I also I think there's a lot of other ways to get around it because evil people have a goal in mind, and if you're a good person, they'll help you as long as their goal is still being worked to get on. Yeah, exactly. So you don't necessarily have to be a good character to have the same goals to align with an evil character, whatever.
Exactly. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, exactly. And then what if I'm playing the campaign and I'm good, but in mid-campaign I decide to kill my party while they're asleep. So what I think would happen is I would say, all right, give me your character sheet. You're making a new character. And then everyone else would make their characters, but it would be 50 years in the future where all of your characters are the children of the characters they made. And they're trying to kill you.
One. That's good. I like that.
But you wouldn't get to play your character anymore because you went against, like... It would be a lot. It would be a long conversation that you'd have to have with your DM first, because if you just went and said, hey, I'm going to kill everyone while they sleep, you'll probably be booted out of your D&D group. Unless you had it planned out ahead of time and you can make a story out of it.
Yes, will it make a story? That's always my question. What's the story?
That's what I would do. I don't know what you want to do. What you would do as a DM.
But yeah, no, I mean, if you're trying to murder your whole party in their sleep, I mean, it depends. If I was DMing you, I'd be like, well, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I wouldn't recommend it because I hope you're having fun.
Well, yeah, that's the other
thing.
thing.
To me that you're not having fun.
What happened?
That's what that says to me as a DM. What changed? But would you at least roll the fight first?
Well, if they're sleeping, you'd have to hit them while they were sleeping. Depending on your character, like your class too, you'd have effects that you could possibly do or not do. Like if you're all sleeping in an area and you're the wizard, you walk away 40 feet and just drop a fireball on top of your team. Like,
they're all failing the deck save. You better. I mean,
they're incapacitated, unconscious, so they count as any attacks would count as crits. So if you're a rogue assassin, like, you'd be able to kill someone right away, and then bonus action sneak up, second attack, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's things that, and then everything would be a crit. You'd act before everyone.
Pray that people stay asleep.
Yep. There'd be a lot. There'd be a lot that would happen, but depending on your class, I think.
As a DM, I would not want to roll. I would not want to roll that fight.
No, it would be a conversation. It would be a big conversation first. I don't know. That would be one of those things that I'd probably have to stop the whole session for if it just popped up, and then be like, okay, what's happening, guys? Like, what's happening here? Why do you want to do this? Like, in front of everyone, I'd ask too.
Yeah.
You guys have to be close enough.
We'll get meat and bones of the background, what it gives you, and how it affects your character sheet. As opposed to your role play, this is how it affects your actual play. Every background is going to tell you what you used to be before you became an adventurer. So your backstory is elaboration on your background, and your background is pretty much tells me to the DM why. Why are you now an adventurer? Why did you stop becoming a noble? Why are you no longer a sailor? Why are you a hermit, but not in seclusion and with people? But they all have very similar traits to each other. Fuzz. So, like, evil and good need to work together. I've done it on BG, but try to keep party alignment so the same. Like, Edwin and BG is the best mage, but he's evil as fuck. Yep. I'm just trying to justify being in my party, but I think cheating somehow. No, honestly, that's you're doing it right, Fuzzrat. That's D&D. Working with the enemy. Like, there's a crazy powerful lich that knows where Tiamat is and how to destroy her. Shit. Well, I don't want to deal with that, but I also don't want to deal with a 5-headed dragon queen. So I'll go work with the old dead dude and don't want to deal with the 5-headed dragon god.
Yep.
Proficiencies is the first thing that everything will give you. These will give you a proficiency. So typically look at the classes and then figure out what your background wants to be first, so you can have your starting proficiencies and then don't stack them, because they don't stack. You don't get double proficiency.
Yeah, that's a big issue that I always try to remember to do when I'm creating a character, is to figure out what my backstory is going to be a little bit, and then be like, okay, this background kind of fits my backstory best, and then I make sure I have those 2 or 3 proficiencies filled in.
The easiest way for me to do it when when you start, Sorry, I intruded.
No, I just do that because I want to make sure I have those in there on my character sheet before I go and pick my class and figure out what extra ones. But just like you said,
yeah, I start with my voice, and then what does that voice sound like? What could it be? Okay, that sounds like it could be a sailor. What type of what do I want to be, a fighter sailor? Do I want to be a rogue sailor? And that's how I make a character for myself. But some backgrounds might give you a language if you're a scholar or an acolyte or a noble. All of them will give you equipment. Then they'll also give you suggested characteristics. These are just more of a guideline. The big thing, the big thing is that they all have a feature. This is what you can use for certain things, so you can find places to stay, how people know you, or if you're a bard, if you're an entertainer, you've probably been here before and you know a place to go play and get a cheap room. If you're a noble, you have something that I forget, but we're going to go into those here in just a little bit.
Other nobles recognize you, I believe.
I think that's the smart thing. I was trying to think. I don't remember. I've never played a noble.
It's just your privilege. Thanks to your noble birth, people are inclined to think the best of you. You are welcome in high society. Yeah, so like you could walk into like a party in a different kingdom and be like, just the way you walk in, people are like, that guy's got something. He's a noble. He's from a different
He's someone to know.
Yeah, he's regal.
All right.
I like the folk hero one. You can always find a place to stay in a town because they're like people like you.
My favorites are Acolyte. Acolyte's Shelter of the Faithful is a lovely, lovely little perk that you can get. I also really enjoy the criminal contact for the criminal is also super sneaky to have, depending on where you're playing and what you're doing. Because you'll know someone in each town, you'll have like a little network of like people you'll know, be like, oh yeah, this is Baldur's Gate. You want to talk to Mickey, who knows Three-Toed Jimmy, who gets you to Jimmy 2 times.
Yes. All right, so let's start at the top. Very first one of the chapter is Acolyte. We talked a little bit about that. You spent your life in the service of the temple to a specific god or Pantheon of Gods. You and your DM can select on which god best suits what you're going for as a character. There's so many pantheons within the D&D lore. You can go with straight up Greek gods if you wanted to. You could go with the D&D specific ones. Just look them up on Google really and figure out which one best suits your character, because your DM can make that god into easy homebrew stuff if they have to, or just model them after one of the other D&D gods and use that as a...
I've done that all the time. I do it all the time.
Most of the gods that we created for Vrist have some sort of background to the D&D gods. I kind of used as many as I could and also like fill that out. So
I'm a big fan of using any nature-y type god. You're immediately going to see Swamp Thing in my game. If you're a druid or like you pray to like one of like Maleki, it's Swamp Thing. You're going to get into a cool hut where he just morphs out of the ground. And he kind of talks like this very long. Anyway.
So moving to the skill proficiencies for Acolyte, you get Insight and Religion automatically. Straight up, Insight and Religion are proficient skills of yours. You get two languages of your choice, and your equipment, which normally we didn't say this about the equipment earlier. The equipment normally coincides with your background. Like if you're a hermit, you're going to have like a walking stick. If you're an acolyte of the clergy, you're going to have like ritual candles. Like these are the things that like you would have on you as an acolyte or a hermit, or a noble would have,
or a
like
parting gift or something you would take from your house before you leave.
So equipment would be a holy symbol, a gift to you when you entered the priesthood, a prayer book or prayer wheel, 5 sticks of incest, vestments, a set of common clothes, and a pouch containing 15 gold pieces. So your starting money would be 15 gold.
Pieces?
You basically, nice. I mean, with 15 gold pieces at the start, you could buy a house for like 3 months. Like
I bought all of my
rent a house for 3 months
yesterday for 13 gold.
Yeah,
I had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, gold is massive in D&D.
Next, for the feature for the Acolyte, you get shelter. Go ahead and ask your question. Shelter of the faithful. So as an Acolyte, it says you can command the respect of those who share your faith. You can perform the religious ceremonies of your deity. So you might have a specific temple dedicated to your god in a place so you can get a place to stay, or you might see some scripture for other people and they might see some things on you and talk to you, and you can have a free place to stay or get some information. It's a way for your DM to it's a way for you as the player to try and take your orange DM. I don't mean like they're actually an orange, but they're metaphorically an orange that you squeeze for that juice of information that you write down. Yes. There's session 0. So when you create the character, do you have a clue where the campaign taking place at? Like what races are in the area or etc.? Yes and no. If your DM wants to have a session 0, that will be your big thing, and they'll tell you what they plan on doing. If you're like me or Vandal or Thundercat, you might just want to be like, hey, I want to be an elf. I don't care what they have. I want to be an elf. I want to be an elf and use fucking magic. Even though this is going to be a no-elf, magicless campaign, we're doing it.
Yeah, I've been thinking of this character for fucking months, and now I get to play. Yeah. This is the character I'm making. And then they're like, well, there's not many elves and not much magic. You're like, fuck it. I still want to throw that cantrip of light around. Give me a fucking break.
Exactly.
I don't need it. I can see in the dark, but fuck, light.
At that point, I would certainly be like, could I be that as the Outlander? Because we'll get to the Outlander background, and you would be that one elf who's from like far off that no one's seen. So it's a way to make your character more special in a world that's created entirely in a fictional place inside my brain. So it's a way to make your adventurer stand out amongst NPC and townsfolk.
Some DMs will send out like a paragraph or two about what the world's like and different races that he's not allowing in the game, or different or hey, this game's going to take place at sea. Triton's going to be a pretty good one, like to use. They'll be available. Like some people won't.
I'm running out.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, hey, I'm running out of the abyss. You can't be a drow. You can't be anything that would dwell underground in the Underdark. You have to be like a human or something like that from the PHP. That would be one of those things. Or what's one that I've said? Oh yeah, no monstrous races. That's an easy one for me. Like I understand you would like to be a goblin, but I'm sorry, they're a big villain in my campaign.
We're gonna have a lot of goblins unless you want to kill a lot of your people. Like,
I get it, but there are times when you like the DM wants to say no. They might have an idea for it.
Yeah, you'll have, and also when you're creating a character, ask your DM. Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think?
The first thing, if you're playing D&D, get a group chat and immediately be like, hey, what do people want to play? If you're a seasoned D&D player, that'll be like, okay, this is my opportunity to play something that I've never played before. Or if you're a new player, hey, this is a chance for me to play something I've never played before. So either way, it's a win-win. You can go with Old Faithful, or you could try something different.
Yeah, I still want to play that cleric at some point.
Hey.
My Daxy poo.
All my minis in the box are still at your house, dude.
My Ron Burgundy.
I will not be cheated out of my fucking Trump money Descent into Avernus hell campaign that I want to fucking play. Anyway,
So with the shelter,
it gives.
so with the shelter of
Go ahead.
faithful, you also get. It says you also can maybe get healed. So like maybe you show up and say, "Hey, one of your characters, one of your party members got killed, and you have their body, and you need it resurrected. Bring in some money. Maybe they'll say because you're part of the clergy, it's only half off. Like you only need half the money, and we'll heal it. We'll bring them back. You know what I mean? Like things like that can happen because of the feature in your background. There, you just use your. I hate it's not min-maxing. It's being awareness of character sheet features. Features are going to really make your party cohesive. Using every feature you have as a player will really make you a better player because everyone will notice that you're paying attention to what you have that can benefit the party. Imagine
The easiest way from.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine bringing like your dead party member to a temple that you've been to or have never been to in a city you've never been to, and saying, "I'm part of this clergy. I really need some help for our friend. We only have this much money. Is there anything you can do?" Yeah. And having your party member be resurrected for pennies on the dollar is like a big deal in D&D, especially if that character's the player is like upset that their character is dead. Like
So
you could be their best friend for the rest of their life. Like, I can't believe you brought like Emerald back to life. Like, thank you so much. Like, later I'm buying you a beer. Like
I was just thinking about this right now. Party cohesion in a nutshell. So the folk hero goes down. However, the entertainer starts talking to people and spreading word that this folk hero has gone down. That's using the folk hero's known ability to get people like, oh no, what's happened? And then using the entertainer ability to start spreading word and start finding other places like, oh no, I played here and I know these people. And then using the Acolyte ability to bring that person back for cheap.
Yep. And that's three different features. Right, there's 3 different features in a row being used.
And one of them's from a dead character. How's that?
Yeah, and they're just backgrounds features.
Just
not
backgrounds.
Not even class features.
Gold yet.
Yep.
What up?
So
anyway.
And when you're spreading the word as the bard, you're probably getting a little bit of money here and there. So that's more gold to go towards resurrecting that folk hero.
Ding, 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 ding.
So now we could get to the suggested characteristics.
Yeah. Meh. Read it. Go over it. Every acolyte's different. Be your own acolyte. If you have an idea for like an acolyte to this weird god who likes to hammer on nails and stuff, and you're performing through song, and that's how you want to be your acolyte, I'm fair with that. I'm cool. Just remember, when I talk about your god, I hope you pay attention.
All right. Now, what about doing this a different way and rolling randomly on these tables and creating your backstory based off of your traits, your characteristics?
Oh, you mean a creative writing exercise? I love doing that. I did that with Kador.
Okay, so I mean, I've done that too. I've just grabbed some of these and made a character out of them.
Some of them are really, really fun. Like, typically when I look at a background, I'm like, all right, how can I use one of these personality traits to affect my voice? Like, right here, the Acolyte. Well, nothing can shake my optimistic attitude. This is just swell. The boat's sunk, I've lost my luggage, but you know what? The sun is still shining. Praise be Timora.
All right, so this would be mine.
Okay.
From the personality traits, I'm going to do number 8 there.
Okay.
I spent so long in the temple that I've had little practical experience dealing with the people outside the world.
How are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm good. I think.
That's good.
What are you? Who are you? How did I get here?
You just walked in the door, sir. This is a bar.
Oh, I'm supposed to be at the temple right now.
Oh, I'm 3 doors down to the left.
Oh, and I just leave.
Yep.
Shuffle off. I might be floating a little bit, but you can't tell.
Okay.
The robes are real long.
But
There
yeah,
you go.
it's easy little things to like. If you're a role player and you don't know what you want to do, roll on these and see what you come up with, see what happens, and then try it. You can change it eventually. I had a Barondir, one of my favorite characters, I wasn't supposed to talk because I just spoke in grunts. That lasted about 2 sessions. 2. And then I was funny. I was Drax. I didn't talk a lot, but I didn't make a lot of sense.
And everything
Honestly,
he did was wrong. Everything he did was wrong.
Every time. We need disguises. Okay. I'm going to get a tattoo on my face.
So you're going to always have the disguise on. So everyone knows that that's you, even when you're not disguised.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Who's that guy? Oh, Skullface.
All right, so moving on to the Charlatan.
Charlatan? These are your...
Yeah. You've always had a way with people. You know what it makes them tick. You can tease out their hearts, desires after a few minutes of conversation. You're a people person. You're good with the mouth words.
Yeah,
and making
you got
people
the silver tongue.
say things that they probably shouldn't out loud to you by asking them slyly and figuring them out.
Mm-hmm.
Your skill proficiencies, you automatically get deception and sleight of hand. Your tool proficiencies are disguise kit and a forgery kit.
Nah.
And your equipment, you start with a set of fine clothes, a disguise kit, tools of the con of your choice, 10 stoppered bottles filled with a colorful liquid, a set of weighted dice, a deck of marked cards, or a signet ring of an imaginary duke, your choice, and a pouch containing 15 gold pieces. Also rich, you and the Acolyte.
Now, to remember the big thing, because you're rich, like the Charlatan, it comes at the reasoning that being very good at those words, there's an end goal. You're going to buy the thing that I have, like the snake oil that will make you look young, or the invisible clothes that I sold to the Emperor as he walks down the street naked, or these snakeskin boots that are actually alligator. But this is one of those backgrounds. Yeah, what up, Valen? We're going into like favorite schemes. Every Charlatan has an angle they like to run. This is one of the ones that expands the background a little bit and gives it a little more depth. My personal favorite is I insinuate myself into people's lives to prey on their weaknesses and secure their fortunes. So I get in there. Oh, we're so friendly, and then when you die, I take all your shit. There's also I convince people that worthless junk is worth their hard-earned money. That's your snake oil salesman. I run sleight of hand cons on street corners. There's so much that you could do with this. You could even run like Tom Sawyer. I convince other people to do work for me. That's how you like. I convince people to paint pens for them.
So their feature is false identity. You have created a second identity that includes documentation, established acquaintances, and disguises that allow you to assume that persona. Additionally, you can forge documents including official papers and personal letters, as long as you have seen an example of that kind of document or the handwriting that you're trying to copy.
So that's one of those ones where it can come to either be very, very good at the time, but also come at a very big cost because it's like, all right, so we're traveling from Neverwinter to Baldur's Gate, and then the road goes, where are we going? We're going. Okay. So Hi, I'm Steve. If we're going to Baldur's Gate.
He starts changing his outfit.
Yeah. You see him start putting on the frilly shirt,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a pirate shirt.
Pulls out the mirror, starts putting on some makeup, and hi, I'm Steven now.
20 aliases. No player knew my real name. I love it. That's perfect. I imagine you were at the table with a little notepad and be like, all right, these are in this city. This is in this city. That's in this city. That's amazing. I love it.
That's good stuff.
That's character depth right there, all in its own.
Next up,
it's also like another one that you can go into a different town and be like, oh shit, you need papers to get in this town. I already have some. Give me a minute and then start transcribing a way for the party to get in.
Learn illusory script too, so you can just make it look like it whenever you want.
I knew it. I knew Valen had a little notepad.
Moving on, we have the criminal.
Oh, we're not going to do the personality trait voids. I was having real fun with that, though.
Oh, all right, fine. Give me do number 5 on personality trait.
Hey, I like the quality of glasses. Green suits you really well.
What?
Yeah, green's a lovely color on you. You can see it in your glasses, on your shirt.
I'm wearing blue.
Oh, no, you got some green right there, right below your hand.
Right here?
That's green.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's green.
Absolutely, that's totally.
And then you leave.
Yep.
Well done.
I personally hate. I was just gonna kind of look around and look at unicorn.
And then reach out and grab something.
Yeah. Okay. Now moving on to criminal.
You are an experienced criminal with a history of breaking the law. You have spent a lot of time among other criminals and still have contacts within the criminal underworld. Your skill proficiencies, you get deception and stealth straight up right away. Your tool proficiencies are one type of gaming set and thieves tools. You get equipment, a crowbar, a set of dark common clothes, including a hood, and a pouch containing 15 gold pieces. So between a criminal, a charlatan, and an acolyte, you guys could probably pay for like a small village to own.
Or if not, you could print the proper paperwork to acquire said village.
Yes. You get a criminal specialty. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I'd love to. So another one that brings a little bit more depth out into your character and fleshes it out a little bit more. You have organizations, individual members. Maybe you're part of a mafia. But what was your role? Were you the Han Solo type? Were you the smuggler for Jabba? Were you, Lenny Lightfingers? Were you their pit pocket? Were you
a highwayman?
Were you Luca Brazzi, your hired muscle? And I hope your first child is a masculine child. Are you the level-headed consigliere? Are you that type of criminal who knows the way ins and outs of the law so you can use it against people? Maybe that's your part of the criminal mastermind. That's not even on there.
That's a good one.
Right?
Anything. You to the Banshee.
Oh no, I need to make a con saving throw. There's a Banshee here, and I heard it wail.
I have headphones on.
I have headphones on. Sweet, I couldn't hear it. I saw it.
It's Maeve. I had a name change.
Ah.
Hello.
Hi there.
The little finger. Yeah, little finger's a good one. Yep.
The little. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, your feature is criminal contact. You have a reliable and trustworthy contact who acts as your liaison to a network of other criminals. You know how to get messages to and from your contact, even over great distances. Specifically, you know the local messengers, corrupt caravan masters, and seedy sailors who can deliver messages for you.
You were on the notepad about little... Yes. I looked over. I was like, oh, yeah, knife thrower.
Yep. That's right. Hello. Welcome back. Thanks for coming back. So yeah, that's the criminal.
The big thing to remember about the suggested characteristics of a criminal, they might seem like villains on the surface, but if they're good, they have endearing qualities. There are still reasons to keep them around, like Selena Kyle, maybe Catwoman, who is a criminal, who is a thief. However, she still has that good in her. She will do the right thing.
That's right. I mean,
give me a
you
number.
you also have like, if you look at like the Flash's dad, he's a career criminal, not something that he did. But he's still going to have those contacts, and like if he ever got out of that prison, he'd have contacts if he ever needed them. But that'd be cool. Nice.
I like that. I want to know more about that.
Yeah, I would like to know more as well.
Okay,
that's what. So if you've seen what's that Netflix show, Bone, something in Bone.
What's that Bone show you were watching, Love? What was that Bone show you were watching, Love? Dirt and Bone? Shadow and Bone.
Shadow and Bone. There's a part where there's an assassin girl who does the fabric dancing.
Yep. I like that. That's interesting.
Well, we're talking about backgrounds. All right, you want to do a personality trait one again?
I would love to. Yes, I'd love to see where she got the idea. Go on. Give me a number.
Number 8. Your mustache looks thin.
I'm sorry. My mustache looks thin? You pencil-necked geek, what are you talking about? You want to call that a beard? That's more like a goatee, old man. Good God, pull up your pants and grow some hair. Whoa. Sorry, I blow up at the slightest insult. I was in character. I'm sorry.
Did you see me back up? I was like, oh boy.
I did. I was like,
so this is the first one that pops up with a variant.
Ooh.
So if you wanted, you might not let it. The Nightbot's kind of an asshole sometimes.
Oh, there's Nightbot?
Yeah. Or whatever. Not Nightbot or Streamlabs. Streamlabs is sometimes an asshole.
Here's an idea. Drop it in the tavern talk. In that. Hey, it worked. Okay. No, it didn't.
No, not for us. It blocked it for us. Yep. So the variant criminal spy, although your capabilities are not much different from those of a burglar or smuggler, you learned and practiced them in a very different context. As an espionage agent, you might have been an officially sanctioned agent of the crown, or perhaps you sold the secrets you uncovered to the highest bidder. So, like, they gave you a variant there. Like, you can go ahead and do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's almost like what you were talking about as well with, like, the concierge, like that one.
Yeah, that could be your variant.
Yep.
But another one that we're going to be talking about might fit very well into the circus theme for Yuta or Maeve. The entertainer. You thrive in front of an audience. You know how to entrance them, entertain them, and even inspire them. So, you're proficient with acrobatics and performance. That gives you proficiency in the disguise kit and one type of musical instrument. And then it gives you said musical instrument you are able to play. The favorer of an admirer. It gives you an NPC in the form of a love letter, a lock of hair, or a trinket, a costume, and a pouch containing how much gold? 15 gold pieces.
Got some rich people in here.
Like a bard. Yes, Berserker, exactly like a bard, depending on your entertainer routines. You could still be a bard, but be one of these type of bards. I see Thundercat is reading.
Yep.
So Entertainer routines. A good entertainer is versatile, spicing up every performance with a little bit. But this is what yours. It says roll for 3, but honestly, just pick them. Pick what inspires you. Looking at this, I would probably pick numbers 9, 4, and 1. 9 would be storyteller, 1 would be actor, and 4 would be jester, because everybody likes a laugh. But it's a D10. Roll on it 3 times. Pick the 3 routines that you're good at. If you're a bard, this is kind of the inspiration on how to use your spells. Like if you're an actor, your healing word could be, "I believe you shall feel better," as you tip your cap in their general direction. Thank you very much. But what's that feature there, Thundercat?
Oh, by popular demand, you can always find a place to perform. Usually in an inn or a tavern, but possibly with a circus. Oh, a circus. At a theater or even a noble's court. At such a place, you will receive free lodging and food of a modest or comfortable standard, depending on the quality of the establishment. As long as you perform each night. In addition, your performance makes you something of a local figure. When strangers recognize you in a town where you have performed, they typically take a liking to you. Unless... Yes, free.
Free!
$3.99.
$3.99?
And,
not 1, not 2, but free!
They will typically take a liking to you, depending on how you treat them as well. Throughout the rest of the time you stay at that said town or community.
The easiest way to put that is for those of you who are not over the age of 30, go watch Caddyshack. For those of you who are over the age of 30, think Rodney Dangerfield in the movie Caddyshack, because he is certainly an entertainer and not everybody likes him.
All the younger guys all the younger people liked him, but all the older people did not.
Party! Let's get loaded!
All right.
Look at that hat.
So, they have their personality traits.
Give me a number.
What are they? The 8. We'll go with number 2.
Oh, hi there. Hi, my name's Patch. Say, could you tell me anything about that local establishment? I believe it's called the Watering Hole.
You get your water there.
Nice. Okay. Now, who runs that establishment?
The water guy.
Does he have a name?
I think his name's Ted.
Ted, and your name?
I'm just Joe.
Okay, Joe. I'm gonna go talk to Ted and see what he knows
Joe.
about you. Okay, just Joe. Sorry,
yeah,
just
that's
Joe.
my name.
Okay. All right. I take a walk away. Psst, you come here.
Oh.
See that guy over there?
Yep.
Him and Ted are getting married. Keep it a secret.
It said I'm Ted. Yeah, I know, right? Bobby Boucher.
No, but that's collect information and spread rumors. So that spread gossip. So I was like, all right, let's just get people talking about. Nah, I could do that.
There's a variant in there called Gladiator. I actually played this, and I didn't use it much because it wasn't really a opportunity to.
They knew you down in the Underdark because of some of the things you did up there.
Right, but I didn't use it to my advantage at all because I was more afraid of what would happen if they knew who I was. So I kind of left that one out, but I definitely had that as a background. So basically, you're a gladiator, and instead of like knowing where to go play your instrument, you're an instrument of death, and you go and fight in all of the pits and stuff. You know where to find how to find where to fight, basically.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. All right, so let's try to like buzz through the rest of them because we're running kind of long now.
No, that's what we do. We run logs. All right, so we're gonna go into speed reading. We're gonna go full hero. You're Robin Hood. You've done cool stuff. People know you. You're proficient with.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, animal handling and survival. You get artisan tools, one type, and you're proficient in driving land vehicles. Comes in handy way more than it needs to, folks. Get it. They give you said artisan tools, a shovel and an iron pot, common clothes, and you only get 10 gold pieces. Wah, wah. Another thing it does is it expands into your defining event. Read the chart. You're a folk hero. Make up something. Why are you a hero? Give me that answer to that. Rustic Hospitality. Another way for you to hide, rest, and otherwise get away from danger because people know of you. They'll shield you from the law without risking their lives for you. Very easy. You played one of these. What are we talking about next?
Your guild artisan. You're a member of the Artisans Guild. You're skilled with in a particular field or with some sort of tools, and you are well established in part of the mercantile world. You are skilled proficiencies are insight and persuasion. Your tool proficiencies are one type of artisan's tools. Your languages are one of your choice. And you get equipment that said artisan's tools, a letter of introduction from your guild, a set of traveler's clothes, and a pouch containing 15 gold pieces. You also get to figure out what guild business you want to be part of. So if you want to be a glass blower, you would probably get your glass blowing tools, and that's what you'd be proficient in. That's what I was proficient in as a gnome cleric. I was also a weed dealer. Dragon weed dealer and glass blower, so I made the pipes that also got the weed.
Smart thinking.
But there's also a bunch of other ones like jewelers, like leather workers, armorers, shipwrights.
Bowmaker.
Weavers, woodcarvers, blah blah blah. Your guild membership is a feature. As an established and respected member of the guild, you can rely on certain benefits in membership that membership provides. Your fellow guild members will provide you with lodging and food if necessary, and pay for your funeral if needed. In some cities and towns, a guild hall offers a central place to meet other members of your profession, which can be a good place to meet potential patrons, allies, and hirelings. But you also have to pay $5 a month, 5 gold pieces a month, to the guild for dues. And
Union dues.
You can also possibly gain access to powerful political figures through the guild by getting in good with the noble people. And then there's a variant. You can actually be the merchant instead of just being part of the guild.
Hell yeah, give me my mule and my cart.
So yeah, you could just go around in a caravan all the time if you wanted to.
I'm a caravan driver. Get in, we're selling stuff. Woohoo!
Guild merchant would have been a great one to have for Tiamat. The first fucking half of that whole thing, you were just like, yeah, I'm in my friggin' this is my caravan.
Leave the donkey. Let's go. Come on, pussy wagon.
Yeah. So tell us about
Barondeer.
Yeah,
the hermit. Barondeer was a hermit. He hated everybody. I don't know why I left the monastery, but it was fun. I don't know. So you live in seclusion, either shelter community, like a monastery, or entirely alone. You're a hermit. It's implied in the name. Expand upon it. It gives you certain things, like proficiency in medicine and religion. You get proficiency in the herbalism kit. No, I wouldn't say hates the party. He just hates people. And you get to know another language. Get kind of handy. And then for equipment, it gives you a scroll case stuffed full of notes from your studies or prayers, a winter blanket, a set of common clothes, an herbalism kit, and five gold pieces. Yes, herbalism.
Life of seclusion. What was the reason of your isolation? Why are you so afraid of everybody? Because I hate them.
Yep, I was a caretaker of stuff. Just put a reason to why you're alone. Like, why is your monastery secluded? Maybe you're just isolated from the rest of the world. Goodness. Roll on the table, make
Anxiety is
something up.
real. He loved to party. He loved the party. Social anxiety is real, bro.
Shh. Shut up, Talionix.
Tell us about Discovery, his feature.
Yeah, so I unearthed a terrible secret. It was Tiamat's coming back. And then wiped us out. And then I became a revenant. It's honestly, that's one of the ones you want to work with the DM to figure out what did you discover. And yes, Talionix was my best friend, Kung Shu.
All right. Other hermits. The hermit background assumes a contemplative part, sort of seclusion that allows room for study or prayer. If you want to play a rugged wilderness recluse who lives off the land while shunning the company of other people, look at the Outlander background. You're going a more religious direction, Acolyte might be what you're looking for. So not necessarily you have to pick the hermit if you're doing that. You can use the other backgrounds and still be a hermit.
You have so many more.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Nutshell.
We talked about the noble.
We talked about the noble. You get a position of privileges. You get history, persuasion, a gaming set. You get an extra language, fine clothes, signet ring, scroll of pedigree, and $25. Woohoo! I'm rich.
And then there's a variant, which is the knight, which just means you're part of the knighthood instead of being a noble. You're actually a noble and a knight.
No, I'm sorry. So, Outlander is what Barondeer was, because I was proficient with the lute because I could play the lute. I was not.
That's right.
Yep. But as an Outlander, you grew up in the wild. Blah. It's you live outside of the lands. Athletic survival. You get a musical instrument. You get a language, a staff, a hunting trap, a trophy from an animal you've killed, a set of traveler's clothes, and 10 gold pieces.
Get to pick an origin. And your feature is Wanderer. You have an excellent memory for maps, geography, and you can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food, fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth.
I used that 0 times.
I used it a lot, but I also got it as a ranger.
Sure did. Yep.
Then you have the Sage, which would be like your opposite of Acolyte. It's a little bit different. It's more for like magic-ish, not just religion.
Scholars.
Scholars, yes. You get Arcana and History as your skill proficiencies. You get 2 languages of your choice, and you get equipment, a bottle of black ink, quill, a small knife, a letter from a dead colleague posing a question you have not been able to answer, a set of common clothes, and a pouch containing 10 gold. And then you can pick your specialty.
Once again, suggestions. If you're a scholar, what type of scholar are you? Are you an academic? Are you an alchemist, astronomer,
Library scribe?
Something like that. You also get the feature researcher, which comes in handy a lot. Use it to your advantage. When you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you don't know enough information, you often know where or from whom you can obtain it. Usually this information comes from a library, premium, university, or sage, or other learned person or creature. Your DM, work with your DM once again, but if you guys get stuck against a wall, you can be like, hey, that's right, I'm a researcher. Do I know where I could find some information on that?
Yeah, where's the closest library that might have something that I can find? Or
well, the closest one would probably be Candlekeep.
Well, what about a other geographical people, like different cartographers? Who's the smartest?
You might be able to find something at Ray's Occult over on 5th and Madison.
All right, I'll go to 5th and Madison and look at Ray's Occult first.
There you go. There you go.
Hi, I'm Ray.
Once again, these are probably some of the best personality traits for the Sage because you're a scholar, and some of them are very. I speak slowly.
Slowly. when talking to idiots, which almost everyone is compared to me.
Guess what Gad was? Right there.
The next one up is Sailor. Everyone knows what a sailor is, I think.
Yarr.
You get, not necessarily, but that's a pirate sailor, still a sailor. Skill proficiencies, you get athletics and perception. Your tool proficiencies are navigator's tools and water vehicles. Equipment, a belaying pin or club, 50 feet of silk rope, a lucky charm such as a rabbit foot or a small stone with a hole in the center, or you may roll on for a random trinket on the trinkets table, a set of common clothes, and a pouch containing 10 gold pieces. What's the feature?
You get ship's passage, not to be confused with bad reputation, which you get for a pirate. For a sailor, when you need to, you can get a free trip on a sailing ship for you and all your party. Whee!
You sounded like, who was that? Oh, character was that?
Ruby Rob, my main man, Fifth Element. As soon as I read it, I was like, you might sail on the ship you served on or another ship we have good relations with, but it's honestly an easy way for your dungeon master to bring you to an island or on a ship for free, and you don't have to pay out of pocket. But if you're a pirate, that gets changed to the bad reputation, which I think is equally cooler. No matter where you go, people are afraid of you due to your bad reputation. When you're in a civilized settlement, you can get away with for minor criminal offenses such as refusing to pay for food at a tavern or breaking doors down in the local shop, since most people will not report your activity due to the authorities. Oh, lunch was great. Have a wonder. Oh.
All right, so next up is Soldier. Everyone knows what a soldier is as well. Many armies and different wars happen throughout Dungeons & Dragons history. So many people might be old soldiers. They might be veterans. So that stuff could come in handy there. As a soldier, you get athletics and intimidation as skills. You get one type of gaming set and land vehicles. Your equipment is an insignia of rank, a trophy taken from a fallen enemy, a dagger, broken blade, or a piece of banner. A set of bone dice or deck of cards, and a set of common clothes and 10 gold pieces.
And what did you do in the military? You got a specialty. Roll on the table, or if you were a military, thank you for your service, and then figure out what you want to do and make it.
I was a healer.
Yep, I was a medic.
So,
and then guess what?
You get a feature.
Then you can pull rank. What? How far along up the medic chain were you?
Yeah, exactly. You can invoke your rank to exert influence over other soldiers and requisition simple equipment or horses for temporary use. You can also gain access to friendly military encampments and fortresses where your rank is recognized.
Easy enough.
I was a soldier as Tacklin.
Yep.
But I wasn't high ranked. I was a fucking low bottom guy, so I never got to use any of it. I was a grunt that had superhuman strength, basically. I was like, they put Hulk on the front lines, and we're like, good luck. You're nobody to us, but you're still stronger than everybody.
Finally, we'll go into Urchin, or as I like to call it, Street Rat, Riffraff. D&D background. You get sleight of hand. I'm not going to sing anymore because we'll get striked. You get sleight of hand and stealth. Disguise kick and thieves tools. Hooray for thieves tools. You always want some. Get them because you want a crowbar. But for equipment, you get a small knife, a map of the city you grew up in, a pet mouse, a token to remember your parents by.
Or a monkey. And name him a Boo.
Yep. Oh, Abu, come on now. Don't confuse Disney and Simpsons. I know they're all the same company now.
You can't name them the same thing.
Baboon.
Remember? Baboon.
Yep. Yeah. And you get a pouch
That's Disney property too.
I said Babu.
Baboon, I said.
No. 10 gold pieces, and then tying into the feature is City Secrets. You know the secret patterns and flow to cities and can find passages through the urban sprawl that others would miss. When you're not in combat, you can travel between 2 locations of the city twice as fast as your speed would normally allow. That's super handy if you're not in combat. Like, you need to get out of a city and... Oh, sweet. Can I use my city secrets? Yes, you absolutely can. Thank you very much for saying that. I wrote this encounter with that in mind.
Yep.
We're done. And you get an ability score increase or a feat. I'm sorry. No, that's
different.
We're done with that. Yeah, that's
Different.
done with that.
No, you don't get those.
I'm done with that. No,
Disregard. Disregard.
Clap.
Clap.
Woo!
That's it, folks.
That's player week.
Please, if you have questions, ask us on Twitter. Please ask us on Twitter if you have any questions about anything we talked about.
Hold on. There's a command. This. No, I paused in things. I didn't do things.
This fun game, I think it is, at this fun game.
Click the thingies and then follow us on Twitter. Ask us all that.
Ask us questions. We want to hear them. We will answer them. If you want to ask us the questions on Google
in Discord
podcast, is it podcast? Google no, it's not. It's Spotify.
Apple.
I don't think you can.
Spotify, Apple.
I don't know. I don't know if you can comment literally on podcasts on Spotify, but I know you can rate.
Leave us questions in your review.
Yeah, review. You can rate and review on Apple and Spotify, I believe. So go ahead and do that too if you can. If you're listening on those, that'd be great. And tell your friends about us.
Tell your D&D group that you play with.
Yeah, if you're trying to get other people to come play, or you're looking for players to play in your group, send them our way. We'll do our best to help them become better D&D players or DMs, or we're just here because we love the game so much. So that's like the honest truth. That's why we're doing it. We haven't been able to play. Yeah, we haven't been able to play because of COVID, and now we're holding off for a little bit. So This is something that we did to fill the time, but we're still loving it so much that we're going to keep doing it anyways.
Fills this gap.
So what are we going to do next week? Don't we have like a big announcement that we're doing?
We do, but we should do the things first before we talk about what we're going to do next week.
Okay.
Captain America, he was in 2 screens there for a second.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, America's ass. He was in 2 places at once.
America's crotch.
Shit. The timeline. Oh, sorry.
The timeline.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Warzone Wednesday. We're going to be jumping back into Call of Duty Warzone, actually playing like Battle Royale and Resurgence and all that stuff, hopefully. So we're definitely doing that tomorrow night. And then Thursday.
Friday night.
Are you guys doing? We might be doing zombies Thursday night. Who knows?
Thursday zombies.
Yeah, we might be doing zombies on Cold War. It's been pretty fun, and it levels up guns for Warzone. So whatever.
Hey, there you go. That works. That's 2 for right there.
Yeah, and then Friday night.
What is Friday?
It's a random night. It's going to be random game night. We're definitely streaming, but it will be random games. We don't know what we're playing right away. It'll probably be depending on who's there.
I know I'm going to raid to you guys because I have 2 movies to watch over the weekend.
We're definitely streaming. What movies?
Good. I have to watch the second part to Fear Street and then the third part to Fear Street, which comes out on Friday. And I also have Space Jam 2 comes out on fucking Friday. Shit, LeBron.
Wonderful. Yeah, LeBron. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck him.
He probably needs to get carried off the court.
Yeah, right. Can't win a championship with the Lakers. Got to do it with the Looney Tunes.
Saturday night is team night. Hopefully Patch can make it.
I was there all Saturday. We watched the fight. How dare Disto? Where were you? Where were you,
joking.
Disto?
No, Disto, no. I'm just joking. I meant to actually play games with us. But there's one game that you need to download, and this is also a game that we'll probably be playing with community members as well. It's called...
Is it free?
Yes, it's free on Steam. It's called Combots. Combots.
Like this.
It's COMBOTS. It's a, like, you're a robot and you go around and try to shoot the other robots. That's all it is, and it's like all like. Believe me, it's worth it. It's worth it being free. I think we'll have fun. It's basically duck game without the top-down mechanic. It's straightforward. Like you move.
Oh, but I like the top-down. Oh, is it first person?
Yes.
Dickheads.
It's.
I don't even get this.
It's
What's
fun.
the point of customizing my robot if I can't see it?
Well, when you die, you get to see it.
I don't want to see it when he dies. I get to see out my duck the whole time.
You get to see your parts all over the place. You just you blow up. You go, and the pieces just go
fucked up.
It reminds me of like a 2000 like first person shooter that like your buddy Terry put together. Hey, Pat, check it out. I made this game. You're like, oh, cool. And then you play it for like 2 hours because it's so much fun.
Okay, cool. All right, sure. 2 hours that's a fun game amount of time, I guess.
For a piece of shit game that your buddy Terry made, you're like, dude, Terry, you didn't make a video game.
If I had a buddy named Terry, first of all, I'd be like, dude, Terry, come on now, you can change that.
Right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
One, don't spell it.
So two, Saturday night, team night.
Quack.
Sunday off. Monday we have survival night. We're playing Green Hell. DD and I have almost finished our base / first floor of our base, while also fighting off jaguars and tribesmen.
Jaguars, like the car or like the beast word, like the animal.
The animal.
Nice. Sorry, I read Beast Wars information.
Yeah,
okay.
The Beast Wars. He says. So what do we have going on Tuesday? GM Patch Nasty?
Next week, everybody in that chat, you get real intimate with me. We're gonna have a moment. You've been here for 26 episodes. If you haven't been here for all 26, it's cool. We still love you. If you have, we love you even just the same as those other people who haven't been there. But thank you very much for sticking with us for 26 episodes. But now, episode 27, we need your help. We're drafting a party. So we're enlisting all of our adventurers for this quest that we're about to prepare for. Next week is Homebrew Week. I had a brilliant idea to say, let's stat things. So I want everybody in there, everybody in the Discord. I'm going to probably blow up Discord for the next week. Send me things to stat on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on TikTok. Send me your silly TikToks of like these weird looking animals. I don't care. Give me something silly to stat. I'm all about that. I love taking the mundane, turn a Funko Pop. Maybe it's a person. Maybe there's an actual character on the inside of that. Maybe that vape's actually a wand. Who knows? But Twitter, all the places you can communicate and put your fingers on clickety-clackities and send me things. Send Thundercat things. He likes things. Do it. You won't. Yeah, that's me calling you out right now. Send me the things. I want to stat them. Is that efficient?
That was good. I'm going to clip it so we can just start sending that out to everybody.
There you go. Perfect.
So that's what we're doing. We're doing our first homebrew week. We're going to try to start implementing these here and there. They're going to be randomly decided on. Normally we try to go through some like Dungeons and Dragons book stuff as well, but this week is going to be strictly homebrew. That week, all we're going to do is talk about homebrew stuff. We're not going to go through any of the books other than looking up how the stats would be on a stat block.
What could I pull? I pull from things to make it?
Yes. That's the only reason why we'd open the book. We're not using it for any other... We're not going through the book like we did with classes. We're not doing it like we did with backgrounds or planes. We're going straight off the dome with most of this stuff.
I would like to think that both Thundercat and myself have made quite a bit of homebrew things in our day. I have an idea that I'm going to bring to the table that Vandal's going to hate, but I'm going to love, and DD's probably going to make a TikTok out of it. But because we haven't had a Superman TikTok in forever, so we need to keep that trend going. We could even stack the. We could even do.
Man, he wrote. When in direct sunlight, All his stats are buffed by plus 40.
His con is a 60.
His strength is a 100.
He is immune to all damage except for kryptonite weapons.
He punches through holes through people. It's like, it's the evil. Kids. It's the bad guy. It's the baby EG. We're gonna go get him. No, you're not. There's a big hole in his chest now. Oh, okay. Game over. You win.
You're welcome. But yes, homebrew everything. So if you've ever wanted to put D&D characters to Ninja Turtles, send me some Ninja Turtles. Send me.
If you wanted to know what Heifer was from Rocko's Modern Life Dungeon Dragon stats, we would do it. Tell us what you want to hear. Send us Twitters. I already think that was a hoot would be like some sort of whale attack. Make him a bard. And that's one of his charms. Are we going to make him a PC or are we going to make him a monster? That's the question. Well, then we can do either. Yeah, there we go. All right, anyway. The big heads would be the monsters. Oh, Ed. There was a woman that came into work a couple weeks ago that had that voice, and it was like not her trying, it was her voice. And I was like, oh, this is Big Ed. Yes, Bev. All right, so that's what we're doing next week. Please do that for us. What do you have going on in your life? What do you got going on? That's a loaded question. I have a stream going on. Yes, I know. I have a stream going tomorrow. If you would like to hear me elaborate more on my current mental health, please check in tomorrow around 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm probably going to unload some stress off my mind and then play some retro games. I'm thinking about playing some Super Nintendo games just because I'm feeling nostalgic. And I beat Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the game, last retro stream. So I'm going to do the one that's fucking worse is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the game. The one with the fucking worst snowboarding section. And I'm going to break a controller, probably. Who knows? But then you can also see all my links, go to my link tree, and then see my schedule. Typically, it's Wednesdays, Fridays before the DG stream, Saturday afternoon-ish, Sunday afternoon-ish, Mondays, Tuesdays off because I play D&D on Monday and I talk D&D on Tuesday. Playing and talking D&D on my Mondays and Tuesdays. Pew, pew. I also have a mug. If you want a coffee cup with this mustache, a mug with my mug, certainly go buy one. You can also get mugs from our Dysfunctional Gaming as well, and sweatshirts. But you literally get to drink from the skull of your enemy if I am your enemy. There are so many of them. Whatever you say. I'm sorry, I don't know what just happened there. Put my ad read away. All right, so yeah, that's it. That's what we got going on. You can catch me over on all the Dysfunctional Gaming stuff on Mondays, Wednesdays. Here. On this channel right here. Fridays, Saturdays. And you might catch me every once in a while on my own. I haven't gone on my own in about 2 months now, but I got a little bit more free time right now, so you might see me. You haven't been live on yours in 5 months, really? It's been that long? It's been that long. It's been that long. I looked the other day because I was like, I'm still giving you fucking money? And I looked like, it's been 5 months? Do it. Keep giving me money, baby. Thank you for putting in the work over here is what it was how I was going to finish that up. That's what it is. I've been doing a lot of work on this. I've been trying to just keep making sure that we have content coming out. I know DD's been busy. I'm gonna say that you're the reason why there are people watching us right now. Thank you. Yeah. You work your ass off as a DM and as a producer. We do give DD a lot of credit, and you deserve just as much. Well, thank you. I do apologize for all the things that I said in my berating after you insulted me, but I was playing my character, and I was just in the moment. I did say you had a thin mustache. Yeah, I know, and I was like, "You really? That's the one you're going to insult? All right, let's fucking poke the bear. Let's go." Could have insulted the hair, could have insulted the house, but nope, the facial hair, he's gotta go. All right.
We'll bring it back.
All right, so this guy just started streaming. He's making RPG music. I just started 20 minutes ago. What do you think?
What is his name?
Arcane Anthems.
Yeah, I'm about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything making music, I'm in for.
Speaking of music,
Speaking of anthems,
you rolled some dice earlier, and you rolled a 51.
And you said no to the first one.
Right, which was a 90-something.
Wrong button.
Because it was a Bolt song, and I've never even seen Bolt. I know it's got John Travolta, and it's a garbage Disney movie. And then you rolled a 53. And it's Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. So, thank you very much for having me once again. Well, little lady, let me elucidate here. Everybody wants to be a cat. Because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. Oh, everybody's picking up their feline beat. Cause everything else is obsolete. A square with a horn makes you wish you weren't born every time he plays. But a square in the act, you can set music back to the caveman days. Shubba-da-boom-boo day. I've heard some corny boys who try to sing. That's me. Still, a cat's the only cat who knows how to swing. Who wants to dig along, here, giggle, stuff like that. Well, everybody wants to be a cat. A square with a horn makes you wish you weren't born every time he plays. Oh, well, ricky-tinky-tinky. With a square in the act, you can set music back into the caveman days. Oh, well, ricky-tinky-tinky. Thank you very much for everybody for coming out. I promise next time it won't be Disney music.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night. See you next week.
Mooches and a boop.